What's up, Roadies? This is Adriana from Roadie Free Radio. In this episode, Larry talks to writer, filmmaker, and fellow podcaster Joel Miller. Joel is a jack of all trades when it comes to the entertainment industry. He's worked in the art department for numerous feature films and has been on the road touring with some amazing artists such as Stone Temple Pilots, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Guns N' Roses, and several more. With his diverse experience in the entertainment industry, Joel has gone on to make films and a book titled Memoir of a Roadie, where he ventures back to his 20s on trying to be a good roadie. There's so much more I could say about Joel, but if you want to know more, make sure to check out the full episode number 176 from April 4th, 2022. Thank you for listening, and thank you for subbing. Here are Larry and Joel.
I was excited to figure out how to load it up onto Amazon. And what I didn't realize is that people can read it right away on Amazon.
Right.
So I'm like, oh shit, and people started reading it right away. It was the #1 new release on Amazon in biographies.
That's awesome.
So I'm thinking, oh fuck. So I get my girlfriend's uncle's a retired, or cousin, or my girlfriend's cousin is a retired school teacher. His name's Tim. And so I called him and said, would you give me a hand? So the book's like 500 pages long. This guy called it the Tome of the Roadie, which is the best fucking review. He said that his ass got tired from sitting on the pot reading the book. This guy, it's called, I forget the website, but it's up on Amazon, and that guy is funny, man. His reviews are great. So I didn't know people start reading it so quickly.
Yeah.
So I got Tim starting to edit it, and then what I started to do is start sending him sections of like, hey, I know this sounds like shit, can you edit it?
Right.
So the book wasn't really done until probably like February. And then other thing I learned is you should release your audio book the same time you released your book. I didn't know that. So I was in the middle of moving house actually, and I was staying at my mother's. So I was recording the audio book in my mom's garage, and then editing the files and sending them away. And it's like the audiobook I thought would be a cakewalk because I can talk, man.
Sure,
blah, 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 bullshit. I go to the bar, I love random crap. I don't know. No, audiobook's tough, like really tough. So I recorded like half of it. Then I had to move. So I had to record it again because you have a different sound now.
Well, of course.
And then I started listening and going, well, fuck, that's boring. So if you're going to, but I wanted to sound like, so, we walked in on this young lady and she was, kissing this other girl, and we went, good God. So instead, I better change this stuff to actually make it interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm acting it out as it goes through, and God, that's tiring.
Yeah, right.
So
did you self-publish on Amazon?
yeah, so you know what it was is, I self-published because I just did it for fun. I wanted my nephews to think I was cool.
Right.
I had cancer. I got cancer. I had skin cancer. I got melanoma. And so I was like, well, shit, I do a lot of memorabilia, a lot of art, sales. That was my job. And so I chilled out on that, and I started focusing on the book. I'm friendly with a guy named Michael Grace. Michael wrote Cool World, Marked for Death. He wrote Poltergeist, and then he wrote a really great movie with Lee Marvin, actually, called Death Hunt. And so we became buddies years ago, and he would always bug me about writing my book about being a roadie. So I had kind of dabbled, but when I hurt myself, got sick, whatever you want to call it, I started focusing on the book. It took me 3 years.
Yep.
And I tried to make it real funny, and I think it is. There's some parts in there that are pretty damn funny. So it was fun to write because I'm downstairs laughing away.
Sure.
And my girlfriend's like, "What are you laughing about?" I'll be like, "It's really not very funny, but I think it's fucking
You
great."
wouldn't get it, babe.
And
Did you
just typing all this mean
Did you
shit?
edit the audio thing all by yourself?
Most of it. So I had a couple friends help me,
Okay.
and then it's really tedious. So I started learning how to do it myself, and then I sent it to a friend for a polish. And so it turned out really good. It was actually really good. But it's so long. So the deal is you'll listen to it and be like, "Oh, I could have done better on that for sure."
Yeah.
And then they're like, "No, we're done. It's good enough. I am not listening to your shitty chapter again about Rage Against the Machine or whatever." I'll be like, okay. So it was kind of what it was. But it's cool that people liked it. So the book, 1.5 million pages read now on Kindle. Amazon just wrote to me. It's going to be free if you have Amazon Prime now for 3 months.
That's awesome.
And I had them reaching out to me, Amazon, and they're like, would you do a novella? Like, I don't know a novella is. I don't know what you're talking about. Like another line, she was just, I could hear in her voice. She's like, you wrote like one of the best-selling books we had this year, and you don't know you really don't know. And I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. So I looked it up. Actually, I did not. I called Michael, and he's like, well, novella is sections. It's basically you writing a whole nother book. I'm like, oh, fuck that. No, that's a lot of work.
Done with that.
I told Amazon, I'm like, no. You got one.
Tell Bezos he got one book out of me. That's it.
You got one. That's it. That's why I got the new wing of his Barbie house. Probably. I don't know. It wouldn't be much. I don't know. But they take all the money. Oh, but it was a fun process. I did not look into a publisher, and then afterwards, I had publishers reaching out to me. What for? What are you going to do for me that I'm not already doing?
Right.
And then because of what you're doing too, now I'm in touch with quite a few publicists, and I get to see what the publicists actually do for you, which I had no idea.
Yeah.
A lot of it's just media blasts.
Yeah.
So if you're proactive,
I get them all the time about people.
Yeah, I get them every day.
That's how I get guests sometimes too. Another insider trading secret here. I'll get something about a new book, like that guy Mark Myers who wrote the book about concerts.
Did he come on your one?
No, not yet. I circled back. I'm in the process of trying to get Mark on the show. We'll say that.
Oh, so yeah, they sent me. I got the book in the mail, which was super cool.
Oh, I got the book.
Awesome.
I got
that
advance copy, which is cool. And then because I asked for that, and then 3 weeks later, I got the real copy, and I was like, oh, well, okay, I'll take that too. Thank you so much.
Oh, see, I just got the real copy. You're way more special. So I get the real copy, and then I'm all thinking from one writer to another, I would love to have him on.
Yeah.
And they wrote back, he does not have time for you. They said it nicer. They said that he's not doing interviews right now. Well, then why send me the fucking book? So I sold it on eBay like anybody else would do.
Yeah. I've gotten that a few times. His schedule.
To be honest, I did thumb through the book and it looked really good.
His or her schedule is just way too packed right now. Or they're not doing any interviews. They're resting their voice. He's resting right now. I'm like, okay. All right.
I get some. I mean, with me, I'll bring on any roadie pretty much. And then with the rock stars, I either got to really like the music that they got. So if they're folk, they got a pretty good head up on me because I like that.
Right.
Or I think my audience might get a kick out of them. But if you notice, to the rock stars, I'm kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
I talk shit to them a little more.
Yep.
Whereas the roadies, it's just more what I'm used to. I like the roadies more, especially the old timers. I like the old time stories.
What do you want to do with the show? You want to keep going with what you got right now? Do you want to grow it? What's your plans?
I'm not sure. When I first started, what had happened was an agent friend of mine had said, if you build it, I can put it on Sirius Radio. And as I started to learn more about the industry, no, you fucking can't, dude. There's way too many people here doing this. So I learned that wasn't true.
Yeah. That sounds like an LA. Sounds like a fucking LA response.
No, he's a New York guy. He's a New York guy.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, he's a big agent for comedians, and he won't give me any comedians because they'll just eat you alive. Well, eat alive my ass. Stick them on my show.
Yeah.
And he goes, nope. So I had no comedians so far. I'm a no comedian podcast right so far. So I was actually trying to get this comedian recently, and it just didn't work out, which was a bummer. His name is Ismo, and he's really, really talented. He's a very funny guy. But yeah, the nice thing is you can do what you want, and since none of us are really profiting from this, if you are profiting, I'm going to assume it's minimal, with no disrespect to all of our little clique of guys.
Yep.
It's nice because you're kind of all buddies, so I'll write to a friend. I just had this guy, and he was badass. You need to contact this guy. He was really fun to talk to.
Okay.
And so I've had a couple of those, and I've done a couple of those where I've told a couple of friends, and I like that. It's fun. It's like this little cottage industry of fun, neat stuff.
Hey, what's happening, roadies? It's Larry here. Just wanted to thank you so much for listening to this short clip. I really hope you got something out of it. If you can take 2 seconds to head over to iTunes and drop us a review or a comment, we would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Keep listening, keep coming back, stay healthy out there, and remember, no roadies, no rock and roll.